Ditch Carbon has limited assurance from UL Solutions on our methodology, which we use to extract company emissions data from the public domain for our customers. Now, if you're a sustainability manager working on Scope 3, you might reasonably ask, can I just ask ChatGPT to do something similar for my suppliers? And the answer, sadly, is no, because of something surprisingly tricky called entity resolution. Entity resolution is the process of correctly identifying which company you're actually talking about when names, subsidiaries, and corporate structures get complicated. And in sustainability reporting, especially for Scope 3, getting this wrong means your emissions accounting could also be wrong. Now, what's the problem? So the truth is there are hundreds of millions of companies in the world, and a lot of them are just going to have very similar names. On top of that, they also might sit within complex parent-child subsidiary structures. It's not always obvious who reports emissions, who is setting targets, which entity your supplier actually belongs to. Take Mercedes-Benz, for example. You have all different companies, Mercedes-Benz Group AG. And then you also have Mercedes-Benz.io GmbH. And then additionally, you also have Mercedes-Benz G GmbH. Now, if you purchase from one of these companies, you need to know which one is the parent, which one are they covered by a parent company's climate target and reporting, or are they completely separate? Okay, they all have similar names. You could probably work out that those companies are related in some way. But take another example, Turner and Townsend. Now, this looks like it's not that similar to anybody else. However, it's actually not an independent firm. It is part of CBRE Group, and they are completely different and have completely different names. So you might think, and you might already know that they're part of CBRE, and so, I will use the climate targets of CBRE when I'm looking at Turner and Townsend. But actually, that's incorrect, because in some cases, the subsidiary might have its own independent targets. And in this case, Turner and Townsend have their own targets, despite being part of CBRE Group. Does your head hurt as much as mine? So this is why entity resolution matters so much. To properly account for supplier emissions, you need to know when to go up the corporate tree to find correct reporting entities. Otherwise, you'll risk missing available emissions data, double counting or misattributing emissions, or simply linking suppliers to the wrong climate commitments. And if you're using this to actually forecast your emissions reduction and plan what is within your control, then this is absolutely critical and you don't want to be getting it wrong. So this is exactly what Ditch Carbon does. We received our limited assurance from UL Solutions for our methodology so that we know if you give us the correct supplier inputs, you just name the companies that you are operating with, we will resolve these companies and make sure that we are getting the correct corporate emissions data. We map the full corporate tree, identifying the right reports entities that belong to your suppliers. And that, as a result, will allow you to have confidence that you are looking at the correct targets and commitments of your suppliers, and you, where possible, are both getting company and product emissions data from those suppliers. So instead of manually untangling corporate structures, you can trust that your Scope 3 data is mapped to the right companies, ready to use in reporting, forecasting, and reducing your emissions.